Well, welcome. This is Spotlight. This is the last one of our series. I'm sure we'll have other stories about answers to prayer as long as we're doing Spotlight. But anyway, it's been fun to work through these. And most of you, if you are growing up in the faith at all, you've heard of George Mueller. And we're not going to go through all that at length. But he's a man in England who is a man of prayer. And he has this orphanage and then a group of orphanages. And it's all by faith. There's no direct support from the government or from any church. Just prayer. To find the money for the buildings, for the food, operation, salaries for the workers, whatever. And you've heard the stories. No bread, pray, someone brings bread. Can you use the bread today? Don't have the money for the rent, pray, money comes for the rent. You've heard these kinds of stories. And he does it for his whole life and writes a book about it. We have a moment here and there, but we have a salary. We have some things that you can kind of rely on whether you pray or not. His whole life is prayer. There is a growing movement of people who are living this way. I have met some of them. I had a chance to speak for a few days in Chiang Mai, Thailand, which is where I grew up. They flew me back over, and I got to be with these 150 self-supporting missionaries from all over Asia. Unbelievable. Indonesia, Philippines, Malaysia. People just trusting God. Every meal, every standing outside the elevator was a mission story. I met a young couple that are in the Philippines. They started a helicopter and a plane ministry, PAMAS. They had a 50-year-old helicopter fly into mountain villages, airlift people out. Had one guy wake up underneath the skids there and try to climb up in to take over the helicopter. Crazy stories. But after a while, this 50-year helicopter wasn't going to work anymore, and they needed a $250,000 helicopter. They said, Pastor Dan, we'll get it, all by faith, plus their salary, plus all of it. And they have 2 or 3 airplanes now and runways and hangars. Our church had them come for a week, and we raised a few thousand, but not 250. But they've got it. And they do great work, and they have flown us to a couple places in the Philippines that we had no other way to get there. And while I was there, I met an Australian family who are in Siem Reap in Cambodia. And they gave me a phone number, and I was going to be in Siem Reap later that year. I was preaching in Thailand. Had a couple days. I said, let me go see the ruins at Siem Reap. But boy, the Siem Reap ruins have nothing compared to this outfit. So this is Tim Maddox and his family, been there 17 years, whatever. Bought 10 acres of land, and everything there is by faith. Building 370 orphans at the time I was there. People being paid a small wage, all by faith. There's a whole school building that has been built. All those kids are in school. There's a $70,000 media center with cameras and computers and doing great media work. A church where people sit on the floor just like you do in Cambodia. And these people live in a little house, had just gotten electricity a few months before, bathed out by a well, no retirement scheduled, just waiting for God to send money every single day. And they're doing it. And God keeps them alive. Once in a while, they won't ask for money, but they'll send a newsletter out, and people will begin to send. It's amazing, the power of living by prayer. There's a whole faith ministry. I've had some people come in my church and speak, sell their houses, living by faith, trusting God every day. We could all grow. We don't have all the answers. God calls us to pray. I pray. Do I understand all of it? No. I pray with certain values in mind. I pray respecting God's knowledge. I respect God's goodness. I respect God's power. I'm not trying to persuade him to be more willing. I just said, God, please, here's this need. And I want to align me and all the people that we are praying with that need. If you want to use us, use us. And buildings get built and ministries get done and people are converted and we get ideas from God. And the kingdom of God grows by prayer. This is Spotlight. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching Spotlight. We're so excited about this. We hope that you'll subscribe and so you'll get all of them. And please just forward it on to others and tell other people about it. And let's just see what kind of an audience we can get for these messages of Spotlight. God bless you.